How's it going, Facebook? Josh Greason here tonight. Happy Friday evening. Anything going on out there in your world on this Friday evening? I know hardly anyone's ever on Facebook on Friday evenings. So I had a little bit of a slower pace one here tonight. Maybe you saw the title of the video. What I title it? Let Your Buttons Be Your Guide. What does let your buttons be your guide mean? What's up, Norman? So I read a quote today. It was in the context of parents dealing with children, but it could be applied to any number of contexts, so it applies to all of us in some sense. And what it was, I might get a word or two wrong, but it basically said, your buttons are a reliable guide to what you need to deal with on your journey toward wholeness. And what that means is, so when we're talking about buttons, when somebody pushes your buttons, you say, oh, that person just pushes my buttons. They really get my goat. Or you have a pet peeve that drives you crazy, or anything like that. Let these buttons be your guide to work you need to do, things you need to deal with on your journey toward wholeness. Because, you say, oh, that person makes me so mad. You have to realize that a person can only make you mad. They can only push your buttons. Those buttons are only there as a result of something that we need to deal with in ourselves. Like, for instance, if you get mad when a slow driver is in front of you on the road, can I get an amen, somebody? It might be a sign that you need to work on patience. Or it might be a sign that you need to be able to relinquish control. Because I know for me that's part of it is I hate feeling like someone else, i.e. the slow driver in front of me, is controlling my life at that moment. They are determining how fast I'm going to drive and when I'm going to get to where I'm going. And so, realizing that not everything in life is under our control is a healthy thing to work on for me. Or it might just be plain old patience. So, if your kids are driving you batty and, if they say a certain thing and that's your button, if they use a certain word or talk in a certain tone or make a certain noise or make their face a certain way, any of those things can be buttons for you, or triggers is a popular term for buttons. It probably goes back to some past experiences that we've had that we haven't dealt with emotionally. That we're relating that situation to, and it's really not the child that's controlling you or making you upset. I mean, the child, come on, they don't have any idea what they're doing or saying that's upsetting you, and they're not responsible for our response to life, to them, and to situations. We're responsible for ourselves. Hello, the slow driver in front of me is not responsible for me getting upset. I'm responsible for me getting upset. So you can probably think of one or two instances in your own life that this would apply to. What are your buttons? What are your pet peeves? What drives you batty? Think about those things and let them be a guide to things you need to deal with on your journey toward wholeness and maturity and Christ-likeness, if it applies. So don't let your buttons be buttons anymore. Let your buttons be your guide. That was my thought for this Friday evening, spurred on by something I read online. So hope that was encouraging to you. Let your buttons be your guide. Just in time for the weekend. It's a great time, hopefully, if you work the typical job schedule, Monday through Friday, that kind of thing. If you have some time off on this weekend, maybe some time to do some work on yourself, on your heart, and be meditative and go inward a little bit and think about things and advance your maturity levels and character when you have some time to rest. Okay, I hope that was beneficial. Have a blessed weekend. I'll talk to you all soon.